the podcast starts now with DJ Kornbred, aka the Empress.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, DJ Kornbred. Welcome back to another episode on Fashitsho Podcast, where we talk about the culture, the hustle, and everything in between. I'm so grateful that you guys are tuned in for episode 12 EP. Y'all already know it was a lot going on, so we kind of been on hold but for the last EP, but we back on. And this episode here gonna be like a little different, a little heavier. But it's something we need to talk about. So we're gonna be diving into the conversation about depression and anxiety, some topics that we face, a lot of us face, on a day-to-day basis, but don't always get a chance to discuss openly. Um, if you ever felt like the weight of the world is too much to carry, or like you can't find your way out of your own head, this episode is definitely going to be for you. We're going to break down what depression and anxiety really are, how they affect people, especially in the creative world, and what we can do to start healing. Because it's time, to get real and just let this stuff go. So like now, before we get into this heavy stuff, I just want to acknowledge something. So, as we all out here grinding, whether you're an artist, a business owner, a student, or just doing your thing, mental health can sometimes, feel like it's just another thing we have to manage, but we can't ignore it. So we need to recognize it, talk about it, and find ways to cope with it. So today it's like breaking the silence, and we're doing this together. Like, today's episode is kind of going to be a mix of education, like conversation and reflection. I got a lot to say, and I hope you like hear me out, because we need to talk about this, the deal. Some people deal with, mental health and stuff in a way, and it's real, it's raw, and it's relatable. Some people don't understand depression and anxiety. It's just like, it's a big thing. A lot of people go through a lot of things, and it can weigh a lot on your health and your everyday, day-to-day life. So first off, let's just get on the same page. So when we talk about depression and anxiety, we're not just talking about feeling sad or a little stressed here and there. Like, nah, it's deeper than that. For those who are struggling with these issues, it can feel like all consuming force that impacts every part of your life, like your work, your relationships, your sense of self. Like, so let's break it down real quick. Depression isn't just about feeling sad. It's about feeling empty, disconnected, and hopeless. It can steal your energy, your motivation, and it can make you feel like you're walking through life in like a fog. Like don't get me started on anxiety. It's that constant worry, that racing heartbeat, that feeling like you're about to explode from the inside out. Anxiety takes like over your mind. It's like there's no way out. Now, for those who don't personally deal with these issues, it can be hard to fully understand what it's like. So that's why it's so important to have conversations like this, to build awareness and empathy. It's easy to say, like, just snap out of it, or think positive. But that kind of advice doesn't really help someone who's deep in it. Like, I want to take a moment here to let you know, like, if you're struggling with either of these, you're not like alone. It's like everyone deals with stuff like this. Everyone deals with anxiety and depression. Even if you feel like no one gets it, trust me, there are people who understand what you're going through. And it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to go through it by yourself. Let's talk about like how these conditions show up in different areas of life. It's like starting with like creativity as creative, like whether you're in fashion, music, writing, or whatever, like your hustle maybe, or mental health. Like mental health plays a huge role in how we produce, how we think, and how we see ourselves. So let's so let's talk about mental health. Like mental health messes with our grind. When you're dealing with depression and anxiety, it doesn't just mess with your mood. It messes with your ability to work. And for anyone who's trying to make a name for themselves in any creative field, that can be tough. There's this expectation that we need to be constantly on. But when depression hits, it's like all of that energy gets drained out of you. The passion, the drive, the desire to create, it's just it disappears. So it's like you're stuck in a cycle where your brain tells you like why even bother? Like what's the point? Like don't even worry about it at this point. Just stop. And with anxiety, it's a whole other ball game. Like you start doubting yourself, you doubting your ideas, your talent, your worth. Like every little mistake, every missed opportunity, like starts to feel like it's the end of the world. So you're like paralyzed by the what ifs, and before you know it, you're stuck in your own head. So, but here's the thing. So I'm not just talking about like the bad side. Like we're going to talk about like how to get out of the dark space too. So like we'll get there. But first, like I want to dive like a little deeper into like the idea that mental health isn't just about fixing something. So it's about learning to live with it and still moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making progress. So like, okay, so let's get to the good stuff. So what do you do? What do we do about it? Because the last thing I want to do is like leave y'all hanging. So it's all good to talk about problems, but let's talk about solutions. So here's how you cope with depression and anxiety. So start by acknowledging it. So like you can't heal what you won't acknowledge. If you're dealing with depression or anxiety, don't ignore it. Like whether you talk to a friend, a therapist, or just like write it down, or get a journal or something, get those feelings out of your head and into the world. Like, that's like a first step toward clarity. Like second thing, set like small achievable like goals or something like that. Sometimes when you're in the depths of like depression of anxiety, the ideas of doing like big things can feel impossible. So like start small. Like celebrate the little wins. Like you don't have to just always be big. So if you get out of like bed, like that's progress. If you manage to write like a verse or like sketch a design, like that's progress. Like little steps lead to bigger victories. So like, then like 3, create a routine. So when everything feels like chaotic, creating a like structure can help bring some stability. Like you don't have to have a perfect day, but having a routine, like getting up at the same time, eating regularly, and it's like setting aside time for creative work, like can make a big difference. So, and like, reach out for support. Like, please hear me on this. Like, therapy works. Like whether you see a counselor, talk to a mentor, even like reach out to a loved one, friends, family, whatever. It's important to have people who support you. There's no shame in asking for help. Like the strongest people I know are the ones who know when to lean on others. So and also like don't be afraid to step back and like take a break when you need to. Like creative burnouts is well, is real. Like, and sometimes the best thing for your mental health is to just pause, like take a break. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're taking care of yourself so that you can like come back stronger. So, and which like which brings me to my last point. Like be kind to yourself. Like we all have our battles. We all have our like off days, our off weeks, or even like off months, but that doesn't mean like we're failures. It just means we're human. Like, it just yeah, it means we're human. Like, so just look, just look at yourself. If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, and or if you know someone who is dealing depression and anxiety, I want you to know that you're not alone. Like, you deserve to take care of your mental health and take care of your body and your hustle. So, like, just reach out to people, reach out to your family and your loved ones. Make sure, like, check in on, each other and support. Let's like support one another in this because it's like this can take a big toll on you, like mental health is just like it's a big thing, mental health is just as important as physical health. If you're struggling, don't suffer in silence. Like, talk to someone, whether it's a professional or a friend, and get the support you need. Like, today, it's just it's like I said, it's a big thing. Like, you need to make sure you're looking into getting help from people, and family, and because sometimes some people don't know how to deal with it. Like, sometimes you might just want to give up. Like, you have certain people that they might be going through so much that they just like want to end their lives, and something might just be stressing them out to the point where they just don't even want to be here, or things like that. And it's just a lot. Like, some people don't even want to like see psychiatrists, and they just feel like when people talk to them about things like that, it's just they feel like, oh no, I'm not crazy. I don't need to do that. But that really doesn't mean that you're not crazy. It doesn't mean that you are crazy. It just some people they need more than some people can give them more. They just need that extra little kick. And then it's just a lot with anxiety, and depression, and everyone doesn't need medication. Everyone, some people can get past, a lot of these things with just talking and having conversations with, regular, just normal people, friends and family, just on a day-to-day basis. And some people can't. But before it gets to that point, for people that do have those type of issues, when it's really, really that strong, it's better to get help, because you don't want it to get that bad to the point where you feel like you want to look into hurting yourself or doing something that you will regret later, because you have people that love you, you have your family, and a lot of people you have kids, and, they need you, and your family needs you, and things like that. So I just think that a lot of people that are going through those type of things, if you know someone they're going through things like that, and you need to just talk with them. And it's a lot. Like, sometimes people just need to take time to themselves, and it's not that they're acting funny or anything like that. They just need time to themselves to get back to them, because you never know what a person's going through. A lot might be just weighing on them, weighing on them, weighing on them. And, you never know what a person is going through, so they just need that time. And it's so many fake people out here that act one way and act like this, and that, and then they come around just to, get what they want out of a person, and it might stress the person out that much and that bad to the point they're like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm just so tired of people coming around me doing this to me, doing this and doing that, and it just stresses them out too. on top of the other stress that they have going on. So they just get to the point where they just like, I don't even know what to do. So some people might stress out over things like that. So it's just a big thing. So you just have to, yeah, just take it, just help, look into helping your friends, family, and just like, yeah, just be there for them. Anybody that's having those issues, whether it's yourself or anybody else, just take time and go over those steps that I said at the beginning and just look into those things. If you need help as far as psychiatrist, doctor, anything like that, it helps. It helps. It helps. So I know this EP was kind of different. Not like a full EP, more on some strict things of your health or whatever. But take my advice if anybody's going through anxiety and depression, because trust me, it will help. But I'm about to get out of here. It's your girl, DJ Kornbred, a.k.a. The Empress, for Fashitsho Podcast. Y'all already know what time it is.
Hey man, it's Big X the Plug. I'm the biggest. And this is the largest. Fashitsho Podcast. Say I'm the biggest.